I'm like this. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Yorelis and I've been natural since April of 2020, and I know a thing or two about transitioning back to your natural hair. So if you like curly hair content, a little bit of lifestyle, then make sure you're subscribed to this channel and give this video a like. So for today's video, we are going to be talking about mistakes to avoid on low porosity hair. Now you must be wondering, what the heck is low porosity and should I care? Yes, you should care, especially as a curly girl. That way you can identify whatever issues you might be having when you're styling your hair. It literally comes down to the science of your hair and knowing and understanding your hair porosity and not really your curl type. Like I said before, I did transition to my natural curly hair. I used to relax my hair. I used to straighten it all the time. I literally had to figure out, even down to like, we're in 2023 already. And since 2020, I literally been trying to like research and finding out what exactly I have to do with my hair, how to take care of it, how to maintain it. And that's the thing, right? A lot of us don't know how to maintain our hair. A lot of us don't even know the terms porosity and what that actually does for your hair and why you need to know. So today's focus is all about low porosity hair. That is what I identify as. So there are three hair types. There's low porosity hair, medium porosity, and high porosity. Low porosity is what we're gonna be focused on today. For medium and high porosity, I can definitely do a video on that. Just let me know. But you gotta let me know, because if you don't leave me a comment, I'm not gonna know. I can't read you through the screen. Write to me, let me know, give me a thumbs up, interact with me. Let your girl know. So low porosity hair just has a harder time absorbing and retaining moisture. If you find that you're wetting your hair and the water is just sitting on top of your hair and it's actually not like penetrating through, that means you have low porosity hair. And it's not a bad thing to have, it's just a hair type. Totally normal. You just need to learn how to style your hair and what products and what techniques you have to use to maintain your curls, right? So the reason why low porosity hair has a harder time retaining moisture is because it's because the hair cuticle, because we all know that hair has layers to it, right? So the hair cuticle is just very, very tight. And so therefore water has a harder time. Think about your hair strand, right? Water has a harder time getting into your hair cuticle so that it could get into your hair shaft, which is where your moisture and your hair products want to go in. And so therefore with low porosity hair, it tends to just sit on top of the hair and doesn't penetrate through. When you finally get water through your hair, it just takes a very, very long time for it to actually dry. Trust me, I know the struggle when it comes to that. Like, I'll put in all my products and it's just sitting there and it's just like taking forever to dry. So yeah, that is low porosity hair. I remember when I first went completely natural, I had no idea about any of these things. I was just trying out product after product, doing different things on my hair. I would see an influencer or someone on Instagram, even on YouTube, like styling the hair. I would go and get those products, try them out for myself, and it's like, why isn't it looking like this? Why is her hair looking so juicy and mine isn't? And that's because I just fully didn't understand my hair type, and my techniques were off. Not everyone can divide their hair into two big sections, wet their hair, throw on a leave-in, okay, and then scrunch up some gel. If I were to do that, do you understand the disaster of a wash day I would have? That is a hell to the no for low porosity hair. Like, we have to do certain steps. So by knowing your hair's porosity, it will make it so much easier, and then you'll have results where you're like obsessed with your curls. Like, you get me? You feel me? All right, we on the same page now. So mistake number one to avoid is not using a clarifying shampoo. Going back to what I had mentioned before, I will watch a YouTube video, watch homegirl do like this whole routine, and then I will go out and either buy the same products or try to use the same technique that she used on like a different product, and I will not get the same results. And that's because I was going around doing things that other people were doing instead of knowing exactly what I needed to do for my individual curls. So I bring this up because I was seeing a lot of girls using co-washes, and I made that mistake. So I made that mistake of using a co-wash every other week or something like that, and then I was finding that I was having a lot of buildup, and that's because of my hair type. Low porosity hair does not respond well to a co-wash. Now, don't get me wrong, if you want to do a co-wash, maybe, I don't even know. You know what? I just don't recommend doing a co-wash, period. The thing with a co-wash is that you're lathering your hair in conditioner and you're not really taking out all of that buildup from your hair. You're not taking out I was gonna say you're not taking out your scalp. Imagine. No, that is not what I was trying to say. A co-wash is not formulated to really grab onto your I keep saying scalp. Okay, a co-wash is not formulated to completely remove the dirt, the oils, and the hair products that are in your hair, especially for low porosity hair where it can easily get weighed down. You do not want to use a co-wash. So by using a clarifying shampoo, well, it will completely strip everything out of your hair and leave your hair beautiful and soft and have that perfect canvas for a conditioner. A very important tip when using clarifying shampoo, if you're using a clarifying shampoo like, let's say like an Olaplex, the C4, that stuff is very powerful. So I wouldn't recommend using that every single week. I do recommend using that at least twice a week, and depending on your lifestyle too. Like if you're someone who's active, I highly recommend using a clarifying shampoo like that one. That way you can keep a healthy scalp and making sure that you're getting rid of all of that buildup, all of that sweat that comes with being active. If you're not so much active, I still recommend you getting a clarifying shampoo. You can get something like the Aunt Jackie clarifying shampoo. I loved that shampoo. When I learned that I had to use a clarifying shampoo, that was the first one I tried. I absolutely loved it. It was affordable, it did its job, and I had great results. So I would highly recommend that one as well. So mistake number 2 is protein overload. What is that? What you mean? Put me on. All right, so protein overload. Now this does vary from curl to curl. Every girl is or boy is very different. Some curly girls, I need to stop saying that, right? Some curlies don't have an issue using protein-based products like I do. I don't really have an issue. However, curly people, let me just say that, right? There are curly people who cannot use a lot of protein. They are protein sensitive, and when they use a lot of protein, their hair feels brittle, it feels very rough, it feels very dry, and it just overall looks very frizzy, and you have a harder time making your wash day last a whole week. So what I would recommend is using a protein-based mask at least once a month or twice a month, depending on your hair type, on your hair needs. I personally don't think that low porosity hair needs that much protein all the time. So what I would recommend is creating a protein and moisture balance type of wash day. So let's say your shampoo and your conditioner have protein. Your leave-in that you're gonna use could just be moisture based, and then your gel can be moisture based, or it can have a little bit of protein in it. I do that all the time. I use a lot of leave-ins that don't have protein, and I also have leave-ins that do have protein, and then I'll just use a gel that doesn't have any protein. You must be wondering, how do I know if a product has protein? I'm going to list a couple of ingredients to look out for that have protein, and I'll definitely have some recommendations down below that do not have any protein. Yeah, leave it to me. I'll hook you up with a bunch of recommendations that I have used and that work really great for low porosity hair. So speaking of protein-based hair masks, this leads me to tip number 3 for mistakes to avoid, and that is not using heat on your hair for your hair mask. Hear me out. Low porosity hair already has a hard time getting products to penetrate through the hair shaft. It has a hard time getting through the hair cuticle. So therefore, the products are not penetrating through. And so what heat will do is that it will help get in all that moisture, all that goodness into your hair, making it soft and juicy and all the things we love, right? So I would recommend you getting one of those heat caps that you could get off of like Amazon, and using that to really help you get that heat that you need in your hair. I know they always say, oh my god, don't use heat on your hair, you're gonna damage your hair. Trust me, that's not gonna lead to any heat damage. I personally don't do that all the time, but I make sure that I do it at least once a month. Trust me, it's going to help. I'm over here talking, but I haven't done it. When's the last time I did it? So the next mistakes to avoid, number 4. Did I spit again? So the next mistake to avoid is using thick butters and heavy oils. Listen, when people think about curly hair, they think about all of these rich butters and all of these things that you have to throw on your hair, and oh my god, the lock method. Don't even get me started, where you put in the leave-in and then you put the oil and then you lock it in. Like, no. You want to avoid all of these mistakes. The thing with low porosity hair, it just comes down to needing moisture. That's just like the number 1 thing. And by using heavy oils like castor oil, that's just gonna weigh it down and it's not gonna look as cute. Someone with like high porosity hair, their hair thrives on thick butters and heavy oils, because their hair cuticle, think about it, it's the complete opposite of low porosity hair. So once you put those products on the hair, it drinks it up and it also dries out fast, which is why it's high porosity. I've made that mistake myself where I was using a bunch of heavy butters and wondering why my hair always looked way down, why I felt like there was a lot of product in my hair, and why my wash days didn't last. I remember like this Camille Rose routine I used to do. I used to take the Curl Love and then the almond butter thing, because I thought I needed to use a defining cream too. On top of that, put the curl maker gel. So imagine all of that on low porosity hair. My hair was flat. Okay, my curls, I was like, why don't I have volume? Why does it feel like I have a lot of product in my hair? And that's because I was using too much heavy products. So now I stick to leave-ins that are much more lightweight, that are much more creamier and less dense. I feel like the more dense the product is, the heavier it is. And so for the last mistake to avoid is not using products with humectants. Low porosity hair thrives on humectants. So humectants are ingredients that reduce the loss of moisture and uses the atmosphere to attract water back into the hair. I'm like this. So ingredients like honey, agave, flaxseed. Low porosity hair loves those type of ingredients. Trust me, when I started using these ingredients into my hair, she been thriving. I mean, she's thriving right now because I intentionally use products that have these ingredients. So again, I will have products down below in the description box for you guys to check out that have these amazing ingredients. Again, the key ones you want to look out for are like flaxseed, agave, honey, marshmallow. Did I say agave? Yes, right? Aloe vera is also a really good one. Algae extract is also a very good one, which I know Camille Rose has, I believe, a hair mask with that ingredient. Oh my god, when I tell you my hair drinks that up, I need to pick that up actually, because that's been long gone for a hot minute. I need that back in my collection, so stay tuned for that because I'll probably do a whole video on Camille Rose. I noticed that a lot of her stuff is catered to low porosity hair, so I'm thinking maybe the owner has low porosity hair too. So I do have a bonus tip for you guys that I actually haven't done in a really long time. However, when I did used to do it, was that proper English? However, when I used to do it, that sounds better, right? I had amazing results. My hair looked so good, okay? And that is wet plopping. Wet plopping is basically a technique where you go ahead and straight out of the shower, not even in the shower, when you're done washing your hair and everything, you start to style your hair in the shower. That way your hair is soaking wet and you start styling your hair. You do it regularly. You take one of those plastic caps, flip your head over, you put it on, and you basically, you know, do your thing, you rinse off, and when you get out of the shower, you start diffusing your hair. Wet plopping is such an amazing technique if you're finding that your hair is just so dry and that you're frustrated when you get out the shower because you have to re-wet your hair and you have to go through this whole process of like styling. Highly recommend wet plopping. I need to do that again. There's a lot of things that I'm giving y'all tips that I need to start doing myself again, because wet plopping, for real, I believe I have a really old video. I want to watch that video. Sometimes it's weird watching myself, but like I should watch that video again just to see my results, because when I tell you that those results were fire, like I need to re-up and do that again. So that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for taking the time to be with me today. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. Give me a thumbs up because that helps your girl out too, and make sure you're subscribed because I'll be giving you the tea and I'll be putting you on. So don't play yourself. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And of course, don't forget to glow. Bye.